So for my seminar, I chose a book called The Giver, and it is written by Lois Lowry. So pretty much what The Giver is about is it is about a boy named Jonas, and he lives in a utopian society where everything is perfect and there's very little problems. If a person were to have any pain, or as in the book they call stirrings, they will take pills to suppress them. But also living in a utopian society comes at a price. In the novel, there is no love, so you can't love any other people, and you also have no choice. There is a committee of elders which will assign you a wife or a husband when you want one, so you have to sign up for that, and also they will assign you children when you are ready to have children. So, in the novel, you get, when you turn a different age, you get like different things. So I think it's when you turn 9, you get a bicycle, and when you turn 12, you get assigned a job. And that is what Jonas' stage is at in the beginning of the novel. So at the beginning of the novel, he is very apprehensive of the situation. He's very nervous because he doesn't know what his job is going to be assigned. So he goes and does his community service hours, because that's what you have to do. I think at the age of 11 you get to do community service hours. So he goes to do community service hours at the House of the Old with his friend Fiona and Asher, and they work with old people. And in that part of the book, they were talking to an old lady, and she was talking about how an old man just got released, and at that time Jonas is very confused of what release means, because no one really in the community knows what being released means. So at that time Jonas was very curious about that situation. So the father of Jonas brings home a baby named Gabriel because he is not working well in the thing. He's crying a lot. So they're bringing him home to see if they get him to stop crying, or else he will have to be released. And Jonas notices that he has pale eyes, just like Jonas has. And around this time of the book, Jonas starts to see color, and he was very confused because in the book no one sees color, so he didn't know what color was. So at the ceremony, he noticed that he was different from anyone else, and as they were picking the names, and so they went in that order of like 1, 2, 3, and you have the number, and they skipped Jonas's number. So Asher, Fiona, all his friends, they all got their assigned jobs, but they skipped Jonas's job. So, and at the very end of the ceremony, they call up and say that it is an honor to present Jonas with the job of the receiver, and everyone was like very happy and they were cheering. So at Jonas's first time being the receiver, he goes into the room and he meets an old man with a big beard, and he talks to Jonas about the job and all the requirements that he's have to do, and it's very like secretive and he can't tell anyone about it. And he gives Jonas his memories, and after all these memories, and he sees what the community has been keeping from the people, he decides that that's not fair, and he plans an escape to release all the memories to the other people. So he plans the escape and releases all the memories to the people, and he brings Gabriel along with him because Gabriel was going to be released. And then he leaves the giver there to help all the people cope with the memories that has been left to all the people. So in the novel, there are 5 main parts that stood out to me most. The first part being when Jonas's father brings home Gabriel for the first time. When Jonas's father brings home Gabriel for the first time, I really enjoyed that part of the book because of the connection that Gabriel and Jonas had when they first saw each other. When Jonas first saw Gabriel, he noticed his pale eyes and how they were similar in some ways. Because of that, Jonas felt the need to try to help Gabriel stop crying so that he wouldn't be released and he would be put into society. So how Jonas helped Gabriel stop crying is he gave him some memories of like good times from the past that the giver gave to him. So one of the memories that he gave him was a sunset, and also a boy sledding in the snow. So that part really stood out to me for those reasons. Another part that stood out to me in the novel is when Jonas attends the ceremony. When Jonas attends the ceremony, it really leaves the reader confused because the reader wonders why Jonas's name was skipped and how everyone else was assigned jobs besides Jonas. So when Jonas gets selected to be the receiver, the reader is still confused at that point because he's like, what's the receiver? What does the receiver do? Like, what is their job? And why is it so special? So I really like that part because of those reasons. Like, it left the reader in wonder of what's going to happen with Jonas being selected as to be the new receiver of memories. Another part of the book that I really enjoyed is when Jonas received his first memories. That part really stood out to me because of all of the descriptive words that the author uses to really draw in the reader into picturing the image of the memories in their head. That part I really liked because it really painted a picture in my mind, and that really stood out to me in the book because that part was just really cool because I felt like I was in the book with Jonas receiving all of those memories. Now, my favorite part of the book was when Jonas escaped the community. That part was, it really that part I really liked because of how actiony it was, because I really like action movies, and that's what that part really felt to me as. So in that part of the novel, Jonas was escaping the community, and he was kind of being secretive about it and not telling anyone. So, and as they were at another ceremony, Jonas planned his escape with Gabriel because Gabriel was going to be released. So as he went away to escape, the giver stayed behind and knew about the whole situation, and he was going to help the people cope with all the memories that they were going to receive. Now, the part that really made Jonas want to escape is when he watched the video of a twin being released, a twin baby, because there cannot be two of the same person, so they had to release one of the babies, and they based it on the weight, so whoever was a heavier baby got to live and the other one got to be released. And that was another part of the book that I really enjoyed because it was the part where Jonas realizes the bad things about the community and how it is kind of a dystopian society rather than a utopian society. So that part I really liked too. So all in all, I really did enjoy the Giver book. I read it, I think it was a year ago, so some of the facts I don't really remember fully, but I kind of reviewed them over the book. So I really did enjoy that book. It was a great book to read, and I really recommend it to all people. I think that everyone of all ages could read that book. It's a really good book, and they used a lot of descriptive words to really draw in the reader, and you were always on the edge of your seat during the whole time. So I really enjoyed that book, and I recommend it to all people.